Oh, there he goes.
From strange, guttural growls deep in the Florida wilderness to towering shadows moving through the trees, these are the eerie encounters that make people wonder. Is Bigfoot more than just a legend? The mysterious creatures of Florida's wilderness. Florida's swamps and forests harbor some of the most unusual creatures in America, but recent footage has sparked renewed interest in one of the region's most mysterious legends. A determined investigator returned to compare his previous recordings with new evidence that might finally prove the existence of the elusive skunk ape, Florida's answer to Bigfoot. The footage captured a massive dark figure sprinting between trees in an area known for strange occurrences. The eerie silence of the location was broken only by the movement of this towering entity as it moved with surprising speed through the dense vegetation. The witness and his dog Oscar appeared startled by the encounter, suggesting whatever they saw was both unexpected and intimidating. Disturbing evidence. Just days before this sighting, a gruesome discovery added to the mystery. A pig had been found violently torn apart, its remains surrounded by enormous footprints that defied conventional explanation. The force required to dismember an animal in such a manner suggested something far stronger than ordinary wildlife.
It's going up the hill.
While some speculated it might be a bear, the size of the footprints contradicted this theory. More troubling was the apparent purpose. The animal wasn't consumed as prey typically would be, suggesting a different, perhaps territorial motivation. Unlike most Bigfoot footage that remains blurry and inconclusive, this new video offered something different. The camera managed to capture a distinct form moving between trees, not just a shadow or distant blur, but something substantial enough to raise serious questions. The figure appeared to shift and flicker in an almost supernatural manner, leading some to speculate about paranormal connections to the Bigfoot phenomenon. Russia's Almasty. The Florida sighting isn't isolated. In 2015, hikers in Russia filmed a bipedal creature walking confidently through the woodland. This wasn't a frightened animal fleeing human contact, but something moving with purpose and assurance. Known locally as the Almasty, Russia's version of Bigfoot has been part of regional folklore for centuries. Mississippi's Skunk Ape. In Mississippi's swampland, footage revealed a dark, hairy figure crouched low, foraging for food in the underbrush. This creature, often called the Mississippi skunk ape, is considered by cryptozoologists to be a smaller cousin of Bigfoot, adapted to the southern swamp environment.
What the heck was that? Did you see that? What the heck is it? There's something taken off right there. Did you see that?
Northern California's vocal giant. Deep in Northern California's wilderness, researchers recorded unusual vocalizations, deep, guttural growls unlike any known wildlife. This area, nicknamed Bigfoot Bend by locals, has a history of sightings, including a reported 7-foot-tall beast captured on camera standing at the forest edge. The Beast of Gum Hill. Another compelling case involves what witnesses describe as a 7-foot-tall creature standing confidently at the woodland perimeter. The Beast of Gum Hill has been part of local lore for years, but recent footage has given the legend new credibility. Most striking was the creature's demeanor, not fleeing or hiding but standing its ground with apparent confidence. Alaska's thriving mystery. In Alaska's remote wilderness, footage captured a large creature digging into the ground with purpose. Unlike most Bigfoot sightings where the subject is fleeing, this being appeared to be engaged in deliberate activity, suggesting it was well established in its territory. The Patterson-Gimlin legacy. The famous Patterson-Gimlin footage from 1967 remains the most debated Bigfoot evidence in history. A rarely seen second angle of this iconic recording shows the creature walking with natural ease through California wilderness. The fluid movement and distinctive gait continue to challenge skeptics who claim it was merely a costumed hoax. Extraordinary abilities. One remarkable video shows a muscular, fur-covered figure approaching a fence and clearing it in a single bound with surprising agility. The effortless nature of this leap would be difficult for a human to replicate without a running start. The Alaskan killer Bigfoot. Deep in Alaska, a traveler familiar with wilderness recorded something that defied his extensive outdoor knowledge: a massive figure moving with predatory intent. This aligns with regional stories of the Alaskan killer Bigfoot, a creature said to actively hunt those who enter its domain. Hidden watchers. The unsettling footage continues with evidence of something that had been unfolding for months: a dark figure standing completely motionless among the trees, as if deliberately waiting. What made this sighting particularly disturbing—
No way, dude. Did you hit it or something?
I am not staying here no more.
Did you hit it?
I don't know.
Let's get the... Man, we gotta call someone.
was that the figure wasn't visible when the witness initially looked, only appearing later when captured by the camera. The area showed signs of disturbance, with the witness noting, "That's all hair, something was definitely bedded in here. My guess, a Sasquatch." Whatever was observing him remained concealed until the camera accidentally revealed its presence, suggesting an intelligence that understood how to avoid detection. Daylight encounters. While most sightings occur in low light or at night, one remarkable piece of footage captured an elusive creature in broad daylight. The video shows something large moving through dense forest with unusual grace, weaving between trees with deliberate movements. The clarity of the footage revealed the outline of a being unlike any recognized wildlife, challenging the notion that these creatures only emerge under cover of darkness. Waterside observation. A group of boaters in Ontario experienced a startling encounter when they spotted a dark figure among the trees along the shoreline. Initially appearing as just another shadow, the entity began moving with slow, purposeful movements. The boaters quickly grabbed their cameras, capturing footage of a towering figure that seemed to possess an uncanny ability to blend with the forest shadows. The witness was careful not to overzoom, noting, "I didn't want it to get too pixelated," preserving the integrity of what many consider compelling evidence of a Sasquatch observing from the tree line. Unexplainable forest presence. Another video documented an unexplainable sighting deep in the forest that defied conventional categorization. Some analysts suggested it could be a Bigfoot, while others noted it didn't match typical descriptions of the creature. This raised interesting questions about whether the footage showed an unknown species, an elaborate hoax, or something even more mysterious. Whatever it was, it appeared distinctly out of place in its environment. Threshold guardian. Particularly chilling footage revealed a massive Sasquatch standing just beyond the reach of artificial light, as if patrolling the boundary between wilderness and human territory. The positioning suggested either reconnaissance behavior or simply an accidental crossing into a monitored area. The witness who recorded this encounter likely gained a permanent respect for what might be lurking just beyond our perception in the darkness. Trail encounter. A man enjoying a peaceful ride along a trail had his excursion interrupted when he noticed something massive standing near the tracks. The entity was strategically positioned close to the trees, utilizing natural camouflage. Though initially resembling wildlife, its unusual proportions and stillness suggested something far more extraordinary. The witness stopped to observe, realizing he was in the presence of something that defied explanation. Before he could react further, the creature vanished into the forest, leaving him with unanswered questions about what had been watching him from the vegetation. National Park visitor. In a remote national park, footage captured what appears to be a Bigfoot moving through the landscape with unusual characteristics. Observers noted the entity moved so much like a human, yet its massive size contradicted human proportions. This sighting in this national park is considered by some researchers to be among the most compelling evidence of Bigfoot's existence in the region, demonstrating a blend of human-like gait with non-human dimensions. Nocturnal movement. As darkness fell, one video revealed a colossal figure moving with remarkable stealth through the trees. The witness identified it definitively as a Bigfoot in real time. The creature's ability to navigate silently through dense forest at night suggested either exceptional adaptation to nocturnal conditions or sensory capabilities beyond those of known wildlife. This footage reinforces the theory that these beings may be primarily nocturnal, explaining the relative scarcity of daylight sightings. Squamish forest giant. Deep in the forest near Squamish, footage captured a dark, hulking figure that initially blended with the surroundings but became undeniable as the camera focused. Witnesses reacted with astonishment, questioning, "What are we looking at?" and confirming to each other, "It's dark. Are we all seeing the same thing?" The collective verification by multiple observers adds credibility to what some consider one of the clearest glimpses of a Sasquatch in recent years. The Australian Yowie. The international nature of these phenomena is demonstrated by the Steve Piper video from 2000, filmed in Australia's remote Brindabella mountain range. This footage allegedly shows a young Australian Yowie, the country's version of Bigfoot, moving through the wilderness. The recording contains peculiar elements that have prevented definitive analysis, making it a persistent mystery in cryptozoological circles. This suggests that whatever these creatures might be, they aren't limited to North American forests.
No way.
That can't be.
What the hell?
Destructive force. Some evidence doesn't capture the creature itself, but rather the aftermath of its presence. One video documented massive trees, solid trunks, ripped from the ground and scattered like twigs. The destruction required strength far beyond human capability, suggesting something of extraordinary power had moved through the area. As the camera panned, a shadow moved in the distance, hinting that whatever caused the devastation might still be nearby. The pale anomaly. Perhaps the most fascinating is a footage that challenges the conventional Bigfoot description. While legends typically describe a dark-furred, towering creature, one video revealed a pale, almost ghostly figure moving between trees in the middle of the forest. This sighting raises fascinating questions about potential diversity within these beings. Could this represent an albino Sasquatch, a different species entirely, or something with a more supernatural explanation? The Freeman footage. In the dense wilderness, a man named Paul Freeman captured extraordinary footage that has become a cornerstone in Bigfoot research for decades. His urgent exclamation, "Oh, there he goes. Jesus, get up here and see him right quick," conveys the immediacy of the encounter. What makes the Freeman footage particularly significant is its clarity, revealing a massive upright creature moving deliberately through the trees. This recording stands as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence in the field, though it continues to divide researchers. Some consider it definitive proof of Bigfoot's existence, while others maintain skepticism about its authenticity. Regardless of one's position, the Freeman footage remains a benchmark against which other Bigfoot videos are often measured. Nocturnal observer. The forest at night harbors many mysteries, but one recording captured something truly unnerving: glowing eyes staring directly into the camera lens. What made this footage particularly disturbing was the unnatural stillness of these eyes. They didn't blink or move, just maintained an unwavering gaze toward the observer. This behavior defies typical wildlife patterns, as most animals' eyes would reflect light momentarily before moving or blinking. The unnatural vigilance suggests something beyond conventional explanation watching from the darkness. Hunter becomes the hunted. A routine turkey hunt transformed into an extraordinary encounter when hunters deep in the forest became aware of an unexpected presence. Their footage captures their startled reaction. "I'm just so startled right now. I think I may have stumbled across a Bigfoot." The experience was punctuated by rustling sounds and deep guttural noises before movement revealed something substantial nearby. The hunters found themselves in a reverse situation, no longer the predators, but potentially the observed, raising the unsettling question of whether they had become the hunted. Their planned pursuit of game was immediately forgotten as they remained motionless, hoping to avoid drawing attention from whatever was sharing the forest with them.
Bigfoot. I'm just not sure. Here, let's see if you guys can tell. I'm so startled right now.
Mountain observer. A solitary hiker documenting a scenic mountain view captured something far more significant than landscape footage. Upon reviewing his recording later, he noticed a towering figure in the distance that had been watching him. The entity's proportions and movements eliminated the possibility of it being either human or bear, suggesting he had been under observation by something unknown throughout his supposedly solitary hike. Snow Peak Traverser. The Wasatch Mountains provided the setting for one of the most physically impressive Bigfoot sightings on record. Using a spotting telescope, witnesses documented a massive figure moving through approximately 90 inches of deep snow at an elevation approximately 5,200 feet higher than their observation point. The telescope had to zoom over 3 miles to capture this creature, which was traversing terrain that would severely challenge or defeat human hikers. The witnesses' excitement is evident in the recording as they observed this entity effortlessly scaling snow-covered peaks that would require specialized equipment and training for humans to navigate. The footage was later stabilized and zoomed to provide clearer analysis of the creature's movements. The combination of size, speed, and apparent adaptation to extreme conditions makes this sighting particularly noteworthy from a biological perspective. Exceptional clarity. While many alleged Bigfoot recordings suffer from poor resolution or distance issues, one video stands apart for its exceptional clarity. This footage captured an enormous creature with a bulky frame covered in thick, dark fur. The level of detail preserved in this recording allows for more substantive analysis than typical blurry or distant sightings, providing researchers with valuable data points regarding the entity's proportions, movement patterns, and physical characteristics. The cumulative evidence. What makes these continued sightings compelling is not just their individual characteristics, but their cumulative weight. From the Freeman footage that has withstood decades of scrutiny to recent high-definition captures, the consistency in descriptions across different environments, times, and witnesses suggests something beyond mere misidentification or hoaxing. The behavioral patterns documented across these encounters, from territorial awareness to camera avoidance, from physical capabilities in extreme environments to apparent observational interest in humans, paint a picture of an intelligent, adaptable entity that has successfully remained just beyond the reach of definitive scientific documentation. Whether these beings represent an undiscovered primate species, a relic hominid population, or something else entirely remains unresolved. What's increasingly difficult to dismiss is the persistent nature of these sightings and their occurrence across diverse geographical regions, often captured by individuals who had no prior interest in or knowledge of the Bigfoot phenomenon. The wilderness of North America and beyond continue to yield encounters that challenge our understanding of what shares our forests, mountains, and swamps. As recording technology becomes more widespread and sophisticated, the quantity and quality of this evidence continue to grow, suggesting that whatever these creatures may be, they remain a persistent mystery at the edges of our explored world.
Oh, there he goes.
Undeniable clarity. Unlike many Bigfoot encounters where shadows and poor visibility create ambiguity, one particular sighting stands out for its exceptional clarity. The footage was so distinct that it became nearly impossible to dismiss as mere pareidolia or misidentification. This level of detail raises profound questions about what might be sharing our wilderness and whether this could finally constitute the definitive evidence researchers have sought for decades. Ontario Research Centre Encounter. On January 23, 2013, an unexpected event occurred at Ontario's Research Centre. Though the resulting footage remained somewhat inconclusive, the sheer size of the creature captured on film left many investigators questioning conventional explanations. The witness's reaction, "What the heck was that?" captures the puzzlement that often accompanies these encounters. The mystery persists, with the entity's true nature remaining unidentified despite the controlled setting of a research facility. The Clifford Mills vocalizations. In 2012, audio equipment near Clifford Mills, California, recorded sounds that defied categorization within known wildlife. The recording captured long, drawn-out screams, unlike any recognized animal vocalizations. Witnesses noted the sounds seemed to come from multiple directions. "It's over here too. It's come from back there too, behind us." The distinction from domestic animals was immediately apparent to those present. "See, that's a dog. You hear that?" These haunting vocalizations have become significant evidence in cryptozoological research, as audio recordings can sometimes capture what cameras miss. The distinctive nature of these sounds has led many researchers to attribute them to Bigfoot, potentially representing one of the most compelling pieces of audio evidence for the creature's existence. Honey Island Swamp Legacy. The history of cryptid sightings in some regions extends back generations. In 1963, a man named Harlan Ford became the first to document a strange creature in the Honey Island swamp after footage was discovered in his belongings long after his death. His evidence included 8 film footage and castings of unusual tracks. Since this initial documentation, reports of a hairy, human-like monster have multiplied, becoming embedded in local folklore. A contemporary resident expressed the community's perspective. "I personally believe that there's something back there. Have I ever seen it? No." This statement reflects the complex relationship between local communities and these legends, a belief sustained by collective experience rather than necessarily personal encounters. Midgard Light Revelation. In what's known as Midgard Light, a witness captured footage of something truly extraordinary, a creature larger than a gorilla moving through the trees with distinctive locomotion. What makes this recording particularly significant is its clarity, which eliminates many conventional explanations. The entity's body shape and movement patterns didn't correspond to any known wildlife, displaying both speed and power that would be difficult to fake. If this were a hoax, it would represent an exceptionally convincing one, requiring resources and expertise beyond most pranksters' capabilities. The alternative explanation, that this represents genuine footage of an unknown creature, carries profound implications for our understanding of North American wildlife. The face in the earth. One of the more unusual pieces of evidence came from a man filming in the woods who noticed something strange in his frame. What initially appeared to be a natural formation, just a rock, a lump of clay, revealed itself to be something far more structured. A face seemingly frozen in the dirt, staring back at the camera. The features appeared humanoid but larger and rougher than human proportions would suggest, almost as if sculpted by natural processes. This discovery raises fascinating questions about whether it represents an ancient artifact, a remarkable coincidence of natural formations, or evidence of something that has remained hidden from scientific documentation. The Watcher in the Wilderness. A solitary moment in the wilderness was interrupted when a man heard unusual noises that indicated he wasn't alone. The sound suggested something was observing him from the tree line, creating the unsettling realization that the observer had become the observed. This reversal of the typical human wilderness dynamic characterizes many Bigfoot encounters, where witnesses suddenly realize they've entered territory where they aren't the apex presence. British Columbia mountain sighting. High in the remote mountains of British Columbia, footage captured a shadow moving against the landscape that initially resembled a distant hiker. As the camera zoomed in, however, the true nature of the figure became apparent. A massive entity, significantly taller than human proportions, covered in dark fur, and moving with an effortless stride that seemed unnaturally fluid for the terrain. The witness's reaction conveyed genuine astonishment at potentially documenting a Sasquatch in broad daylight, challenging the notion that these creatures are exclusively nocturnal or that they always avoid human contact. The mountainous, isolated setting is consistent with reported Bigfoot habitat preferences across North America. Texas tracks and growls. In Texcara, Texas, a family outing became an unexpected research opportunity when a man and his children discovered unusual footprints. "What do we got here? It's a track. Wow, what kind of track is that? Oh look, here's another one," the father remarked, documenting their discovery. The impressions were notably massive, wider than human feet, and pressed deeper into the soil than would be expected from a person's weight. The encounter escalated when a growling sound emanated from the forest, prompting the family's hasty retreat. The combination of unusual tracks and vocalizations represents a classic pattern in Bigfoot encounters, where physical evidence and auditory experiences often coincide.
Oh, look, here's another one.
Another one?
Accidental documentary evidence. A nature documentary filming wildlife inadvertently captured something unexpected in Great North. Just seconds into one scene, a figure appears moving with remarkable speed between trees in an area where no humans were supposed to be present. The entity's quick, deliberate movements and the remote location raise questions about whether the filmmakers unknowingly recorded evidence of the very creature that has eluded dedicated researchers for decades. Woodpecker's warning. Deep in the forest, the distinctive alarm call of a pileated woodpecker, itself an unusual occurrence without obvious threat, preceded something even more mysterious. A man enjoying a quiet walk suddenly heard vocalizations he couldn't attribute to any known wildlife. The sounds were described as low and guttural, resembling a growl but with qualities that seemed unnatural or composite in nature. Woodpeckers and other birds often serve as natural alarm systems in forests, with their distinctive warning calls alerting other creatures to potential threats. The sequence of the woodpecker's alarm, followed by unusual vocalizations, suggests a possible cause-and-effect relationship that adds credibility to the encounter. What makes these accounts particularly compelling is their consistency across different geographical regions, time periods, and witness backgrounds. The behavioral patterns, physical descriptions, and environmental contexts show remarkable similarities despite witnesses having no connection to each other or, in many cases, prior knowledge of Bigfoot lore. Whether these encounters represent an undiscovered species, misidentifications of known wildlife, elaborate hoaxes, or some combination of these explanations remains unresolved. What's certain is that the wilderness continues to yield experiences that challenge our understanding of what shares our forests, mountains, and swamps. Experiences that persist despite increasing human encroachment into previously remote areas.